Good morning. It's Greg Tran with Gregory Group Real Estate. If you haven't heard the news about the Zillow debacle, let me tell you, and I'm going to give you a couple of lessons that we've learned from this. So what happened is Zillow started buying homes a couple years ago, and the idea was they were going to turn them around and sell them right away or renovate them and selling them. Pretty much they're looking to flip homes, but on a really large scale, using their technology platform. What they did is they based their buying criteria on their automated valuation program. Now you've seen these out there. A lot of websites have them. It gives you a value for your house. Theirs is called the Zestimate, and so they use that Zestimate to base the value off of, and then they got to work. They bought at scale. Really, they bought billions of dollars worth of houses. Like I said, some of them they fixed up, some of them they turned around to sell. But unfortunately for them, they couldn't recoup the money they paid for most of these homes. One of the recent stats that I saw, it said that 64% of the homes that they had bought when they relisted them, they actually listed them for less than what they bought them for. To make a long story short, what happened is they just announced that they lost hundreds of millions of dollars doing this, and then quit the home buying business altogether, and ended up having to lay off a quarter of their employees. Now that's, it's terrible to hear something like this, but really the question is, what can we learn from something like this? And really, I've got 3 points I think it's important for you to hear. The first one is that these big companies, especially these public companies, they report a lot of financial numbers, and they're really good at putting a rosy picture on things. And the thing is, financial numbers in isolation, they don't mean much of anything. For example, they were talking about, this company Zillow was talking about how they were, how they had $1.5 billion in revenue in the first half of 2021, which is a lot of money. But these revenue numbers by themselves don't mean anything, because let's say you sell a house for $500,000. That's $500,000 of revenue. But if you actually bought the house for $600,000, then you're actually losing $100,000 on that, right? So for them, they had a ton of this revenue, but they're actually posting a loss on every single deal that they were doing. So be really careful especially when you see headlines in the news of financial numbers. You really want to be able to read into it and see what they mean. The second big point is it's really hard for computers and algorithm to get home pricing correct. They've been trying for years, and we've had clients and people ask us for years, like, this estimate says my house is worth this. Why are you telling me that it's actually worth this? And the thing is, it's really, really hard. I want to say it's near impossible, though I know, like, eventually tech does catch up. I just don't know how long it's going to take. But definitely for right now, it's really difficult for a computer to tell you how much your house is worth. Homes have so much variability that's hard to quantify. That's more than how many rooms. That's more than how big your lot is. That's more than really what the dollar per square foot is. How can a computer even know if a house has some layout that will turn off buyers? Or how would they know that even if a house is renovated, maybe the design of the bathroom just doesn't jive with the design of the kitchen, and that turns off buyers? And really, most neighborhoods, especially in houses, the stats like dollar per square foot, when you're looking at kind of an aggregate list of the homes that have sold in the neighborhood, dollar per square foot just has very, very little meaning. I mean, it can give you a general guidance, but you absolutely cannot judge what a buyer will pay for the house based on dollar per square foot. And this is something that we've been telling people for years. When let's just say this. It's very rare that a buyer, when they walk into a home and fall in love with it, they ask, what's the dollar per square foot? And let me offer with a dollar per square foot. If that's not how buyers are thinking, then you can't price like that. And for now, it's just much easier for a human, for an actual experienced agent, to be able to look at all these things and put it together in our heads and come up with what a likely sales price is. It's just much easier for us to do that than a computer is right now. And really leading into my third point, just don't underestimate the value of an agent who's in the trenches every single day. If you're reading about something in the news, it's likely that it's already happened. I mean, it's passed. By the time any kind of reporter gets their hands on it, it's because someone told them, and it's been going on for a while. With this, with the news about them buying homes and paying too much for them, frankly, our team spotted that trend not just with Zillow, but with a lot of these instant iBuyers. A while ago. I mean, we saw how they were overpaying for homes, and because of that, we started suggesting to all of our sellers that before we actually put it on the market, to make sure we get some offers from these guys, because there was a fairly good chance that they might give us an offer that's even better than they were expecting. And because we did that, we do have a handful of sellers that were able to get prices for their homes that were just way above what the market would ever suggest, and frankly what the market would ever bear. And it's it's just because we're in it all the time, and we see these kind of things. Also, like, I noticed when we had this trend, all of a sudden with multiple companies, it just stopped. All of a sudden the offers we were getting back were, you could call them reasonable, but they were offers that you would expect, and it wasn't the outlandish offers that they were giving for a while. So being in there every single day, we see things right when they happen. We notice trends right when they happen, and when you talk to people like us, you'll be able to get some of that knowledge as well. Of course, look, we are still always looking for people who are looking to sell their homes. We have a lot of buyers out there looking. The inventory is still really low here in the market, even though it's stabilized. So if you've thought at all, even if this is like maybe a year off, but if you've thought at all about selling your house and would like some information, or curious about what your house might possibly sell for, and maybe that can help you make a plan for the future, just reach out. I'm always up for a chat. I'm always up to talk about the market, and really I just always want to help. So just reach out. Love to chat with you. Thanks.